Hello and welcome. My name is Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind the Country Chic Cottage. Cricut recently released Reflective HTV, so I thought I'd do an entire video all about Reflective HTV, compare the Cricut product with some products from Siser. This is one version of Reflective Siser HTV, and see kind of which I like best, pros and cons of all of them, so you can decide which would be best for your projects. And speaking of projects, we're going to talk about what kind of projects this material would be best on. And I am wearing one of the projects, so this is the Cricut material on a Bella canvas hoodie. Now this is my test shirt, so you can see we're going to test several products, and I am going to take them, turn the lights off, shine my flashlight on them, and kind of see how reflective each of them are. Try to capture that on video so you can see the reflective properties of each of these. Then you can decide which product is best for you. Now the Cricut product currently only comes in this black rainbow, and it may look gray on screen, but as the light hits it, it will get more of a rainbow property. The Siser product that I like the best, I'm going to test several Siser products. The Siser product that I like the best only comes in this silver tone. So I kind of like both the Siser and the Cricut for two different reasons. So I like both of these for the reflective properties, and then I kind of like the silver if I was going with a hoodie that was a darker color like this one, and I kind of like the Cricut if I was going with a lighter color hoodie like the one I have on. So it kind of depends on what you're putting it on and the look you're going for. So maybe you don't like silver, you might like the black better, the black rainbow, whatever one you like best. You can kind of use this video to decide which will work best for your project. So first, let's take a closer look at all the products we're going to test. Here are the products that we're going to compare today. So this is the new Cricut Reflective HTV. So this iron-on, they call it Black Rainbow, and I'm going to take it out of the package here, and you might be able to see a little bit of a rainbow shimmer here. You can see more once more light is reflecting on it, and once it's actually on a shirt. So for all of these, especially this one and these three, the carrier sheet is shiny. So you see my studio lights reflecting off that carrier sheet. That isn't necessarily the reflective property of the HTV. So we will take a look at the reflective properties after we press each of these. So this is the Cricut Reflective. Then this version in the center here, this kind of gray looking one, is the Siser Reflective. The Siser Reflective is a very different product. So I cut a small piece off of this here to peel it back because the reflective portion is under this carrier sheet, and the carrier sheet is white or opaque looking white. It is not a clear carrier sheet. So I was a little bit confused when this came because I thought, I bought Reflective HTV, what is this matte looking product? The matte side of this is actually the carrier sheet. So we'll put this gray side is the adhesive side, and we're going to put that face up on the mat. This portion goes down, and you do mirror this just like always. Now the rest of these products are just like regular HTV, including the Cricut version. These three are Siser Twinkle. It is supposed to have reflective properties similar to their Reflective HTV, so I wanted to add those to the test. And I got three different colors just because I like these colors. Now once again, the carrier sheets on these are really shiny, and the backs are actually gray. So you can see the back of those are gray. So with the carrier sheet being shiny, we really can't compare them with the carrier sheet on. So first let's compare these on a shirt where I pressed each one of these. We will later in this video cut some of this product and make a couple projects. Here are all those products pressed to a shirt. So this is the Cricut version, this is the Siser version, and these are the three Twinkles. So let's talk about each of these individually. So the Cricut version, you just cut on the reflective iron-on setting. It feels similar to a regular iron-on product on the shirt. It is fairly reflective, and we will take these into the dark, and I'll shine a flashlight on them here in a few minutes. The Siser version is very similar to the Cricut version. I'll just say that. Cuts on the same cut setting, so a reflective iron-on setting worked. It's very thin, feels really great on the shirt. So I do really like both of these products. The test is going to be which one reflects the most for me. The Twinkle products are across the bottom. First of all, I had to use a light cardstock setting with more pressure to cut these. They are extremely thick. Now it is a glittery type of finish, but you can't feel the glitter, so it is a smooth surface, but it is really thick feeling on the shirt in all the cases. Now if it reflects well, I might be inclined to use it, but I would take into account that it is extremely thick. It might not be that comfortable for larger designs. So now let's take this and kind of shine a flashlight on these and then turn the lights off and do the same. So here's the shirt with the lights on. I'm kind of like in a room where I can turn the lights off and it be completely dark. And I am shining a flashlight on each of these products with the lights on to see the reflective properties. With the lights on, you can definitely tell that they each are reflective. But the real test comes when I turn the lights off. So I turn the lights off, using my phone flashlight, shining light on each of these products. And I really can see the reflective properties once I'm in the dark and shining the flashlight on each of these. They definitely all are very reflective. However, I do think the Siser stands out the most, possibly because it's a light color and reflects to that kind of white, bright white silver. The Twinkle products have a similar reflection. However, I do not think it's as bright as the original Siser reflective. The Cricut product definitely reflects. However, I think because it's that black rainbow, you can definitely see the rainbow more. It does reflect the light. However, it's just not as bright as the Siser product. All right, so my personal preference, frankly, is the Siser. If I'm going for looks and reflection, I like the look of it more and the reflection. But it probably depends on my project, right? So this only comes in this silvery color here. If I had a project where I wanted a darker HTV, this Cricut would be a great option. I do like the rainbow look once you get the reflection, and it does reflect really well. So I thought we'd do a product with each of these, and I'm going to cut each of these and apply them to my shirt. So we are going to go through cutting both the Cricut product and the Siser product, and I'm going to add them both to a sweatshirt. The Twinkle products I'm not going to make a full project with. I just have too many cons for how thick it is. However, if you want to give it a try for yourself, light cardstock setting, more pressure was what I used to cut it, and then follow the directions on their website for pressing. I found those perfect for the pressing times and temperatures. So now let's head to the Cricut machine and see how to cut the Cricut as well as the Siser product. They're both very, very similar with instructions. The Cricut product goes shiny side, so you have like a matte looking side side down on the mat. And so this is for the Cricut Black Rainbow Reflective HTV. And we want to press it down really well on the mat. Now I have a file that I am going to use, and I'm going to make 2 shirts with this file. I will be offering up the SVG file for free. You can get a link to get that in the description below this video. So I've mirrored my design, and I'm going to pick reflective iron-on as my setting. It tells me to load the fine point blade, and then we're going to load our mat. And I'll press go to cut. While I have my machine set up, let's go ahead and cut the Siser product. As I said before, the Siser product's a little different. So there is kind of a matte side that is a lighter gray, and that goes down on the mat. So the darker gray side will go up. And again, we're going to mirror our cut. And I did find that the reflective iron-on setting worked just fine, so I'm not even going to alter my setting, and I'm going to cut the same file out of this HTV. Again, it uses the fine point blade, so any Cricut machine would work. Then we'll just press go to cut. Now that this is done, let's take a look at weeding both of these. I do feel like both of these materials weed about the same, so I'm going to remove everything around the outside. In this case, the design itself, we actually will be leaving the centers of the letters in. And I'll show you what I mean by that. But it just will depend on your design. But you basically want to remove everything you don't want added to your shirt. Or in this case, we're actually going to press this on hoodies. So anything I don't want on my hoodie, I need to remove at this stage. So I'm just going to keep weeding both of these. Again, they weed about the same. I didn't have issues with either one. So I'm going to weed both, and then we'll come back and take a look at pressing both of these to our hoodies. Here are both designs completely weeded, and I'm going to press these onto two different hoodies. So I'm going to press the dark Cricut version, so you can kind of see it here. And I'm going to press it to like a lighter pink shirt. And then this light Siser version, I'm going to press to a darker shirt. With them weeded, you can see more clearly the carrier sheet on the Siser version and how it's kind of a milky white. That's why you can't really see the final color of this HTV until after you press it. So for both of these, I'm using Bella Canvas fleece. Now I'm gonna do the pocket, the hoodie with the front pocket. They have a variety of fleece options. And I'm doing the fleece because I do think this is a really great option for those that maybe run in the morning or at night or something like that. And you might want to do a full jogging suit. So you could do both like a hoodie and pants. Maybe put something on the front as well as the back, even the sleeves, to get those reflective properties. So the Cricut version is first, and I'm going to do it on this pink hoodie. And it is 315 degrees for 30 seconds. You saw me preheat the surface, and I do have my Easy Press mat under here. I am using my Easy Press just to show that you can use the Easy Press, but you can use a regular heat press as well. So now that that's cooled a little bit, I'm gonna add my design to the front. And both carrier sheets are sticky, so it'll probably hold itself in place. And then this does require firm pressure. So 315 degrees, 30 seconds, firm pressure. And when it says firm pressure, I press down the entire time. All right, so 30 seconds is up. In addition to being firm pressure, this is a cold peel. So we do need to let this cool completely before we peel that carrier sheet back. And if you'll note on this hoodie, you might see some color change in the hoodie itself from the heat. It will go back to the regular color, so you'll be able to see that as it cools as well. So now that this is cool to the touch, I did remove the Easy Press mat as well, so it would cool a little quicker. And then we can just peel this carrier sheet back, making sure everything's stuck. And I did have really good luck out of the samples I made. If for some reason something isn't stuck down, I would replace the carrier sheet and press once again, just to get everything into place well. Then after you've peeled that off, this one is done. So I do like this black rainbow version on these lighter colors. Like, to me, it looks a lot better. And now that the carrier sheet's off, you can probably start to see some of that rainbow effect. And I will take it in and we'll kind of shine some light on it as well, so you can see some more of the reflective and rainbow properties. Now I do like larger designs with the reflective HTV, so you have more area to reflect off the light. If you use smaller designs, you have less area and it will reflect less light. Again, this is a Bella Canvas hoodie, and I'm just gonna preheat, and the steps are the same, times, temperatures, and a few of the instructions are different. So this one is 305 for 15 seconds, and it's a light to medium pressure. I do still have my Easy Press mat under this hoodie. And we'll do a light to medium pressure for 15 seconds. Now this is a warm peel. It does say to allow it to cool for at least 10 to 15 seconds before trying to peel the carrier sheet back. Again, I removed that Easy Press mat, and it's been cooling 10-15 seconds. And it is still warm to the touch. So you might want to check it in a few areas, just make sure it's going to peel, and it looks really, really good. So we're just going to peel this back. Again, if something was to be lifting, you would replace this and press again, and then try to peel back once more. And there you have another reflective shirt. And I think you can tell with this one, even in this light, how much is reflecting off of the shirt itself. Again, I like large areas all the reflective HTV a large area. But let's go ahead and take both of these in, shine some light on them, and see how much they reflect in different lighting conditions. So now I took both of those hoodies, put them in a room, shined a light on both of them with the room light on. And you can see some reflection. It's not very extreme when the lights are on. Then I turn the lights off, again, shine the flashlight on both of the products, and you can definitely see that reflection come out. Again, I think maybe the Siser product reflects a little more, but the Cricut product definitely reflects. It's just maybe a darker color, but that rainbow really comes out in the direct light. So now you've seen both these products, the Siser, which I put on this blue hoodie, and then the Cricut, which I put on this pink hoodie, and you can kind of decide which is right for you. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. So let's talk about pros and cons. So the Cricut product, I don't really like that it asks for firm pressure, especially if I'm going to use my Easy Press. If I was using my heat press, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but the firm pressure, I wasn't wild about that it calls for that. I also don't particularly like the cold peel of the Cricut HTV. They usually say cold peel on all of their products because I just don't like to wait. So I'm just kind of an impatient crafter, so that's always a con for me. However, it is very reflective, and I do think the rainbow effect is very, very cool. If you are looking for a cool product to wear on a shirt that's going to get direct light, the Cricut product is probably the one. And if you're going to put it on a light color garment, I definitely think the Cricut product is the right one for you. With the Siser version, I do think it reflects more light. So if I was doing it just purely for safety reasons, I would try to incorporate the Siser product into my craft. Now, if I wanted to decorate, so the Siser product is very light, and if I was going to decorate this like a navy blue hoodie or navy blue sweatsuit for running or jogging early in the morning, late at night, it might not be the best idea because the dark would not show up as well. So it might be better to get a light color sweatsuit and use the Cricut product for safety reasons. But if, say, like you were doing it for a Halloween costume and you wanted reflective strips on it, and of course the Halloween costume was black because the witch needs a black dress, let's say, then the Siser product would probably show up way more for safety reasons. So there are reasons to use it. I do like the lower temperature, the lower time, as well as the lower pressure of the Siser product and being able to peel it warm. Those are all benefits for the Siser product in my mind. These both feel the same on the shirt to me. They're both about equal thickness. They both cut the same, weed the same. As far as those properties go, they're probably equal. The Siser product might reflect some more light, but I just think it's the trick of the eye because of the lighter color. They probably reflect about the same amount in reality. It's just that the darker color doesn't look like it's reflecting as much to my eye. So either way you go, I don't think you can go wrong, but it's probably going to be what you want to make with it and what you're putting it on. And I've given you a few examples for things you could use this product for, but let your imagination go wild. Maybe you're going to a party, a bonfire, it's going to be late at night, and you want, your shirt to kind of reflect the light of the bonfire. And this free SVG might be the perfect thing for that. So I'm going to link to all the products I'm using where you can purchase those, as well as the free SVG, The Adventure Awaits with the Mountain, that you can download for free. And I'm going to link to that in the description below this video. So if you are on computer, scroll down and click Show More. If you're on mobile, swipe up on the video or click the arrow to expand the description. You'll find tons of links, click on those that interest you, and you should be able to find what you need. If you can't, you can always leave a comment below, and I will be happy to help you. Now, all that's left for you to do is to figure out what you want to put reflective HTV on and how to incorporate it into your crafting. Now, I would encourage you to keep this separate from your other HTV products. I mean, the rainbow looks different if I really look at it in the tube, but if it was just like with all my other HTV products, I might get it confused, and I might use it on a product that I did not intend for the reflective to be on. So you might want to keep these products separate from the other products. Now the twinkle, if you choose to use it, like I said, wasn't my particular favorite because of how thick it was. If you choose to use it, you can use it like any other glitter HTV. It just has reflective properties similar to this Siser product, which is why I wanted to put it into these tests. So hopefully that helps you. If it does, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything we've covered, drop down in the comment section and ask away. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.